projection room sits at the end of a short hallway, behind a heavy door with a metal handle, worn smooth by years of use. When you push it open, it moves slowly but without sound, as though the hinges have been cared for long after the projectors themselves went quiet. Inside, the room is dim, lit only by a few recessed lights along the ceiling. Their glow is soft, barely more than a gentle presence that outlines the space without fully revealing it. The walls are covered in dark acoustic panels, thick enough to absorb even the faintest sound. The moment you step inside, the silence deepens around you in a way that feels unmistakably different from the hallway outside. Your first step lands on a floor that is slightly cushioned, covered in a dense material meant to soften footsteps. It absorbs the contact so completely that even you can barely hear it. You take another step, then another, letting yourself adjust to the muted atmosphere. On your right, several rows of chairs extend toward the back wall. They are sturdy, upholstered in deep, calm colors, arranged with wide space between them. None are occupied. Each one sits as if waiting for an audience that will not arrive tonight. You walk past the first row at a slow pace, noticing the faint texture of the fabric and the soft curve of the armrests. Ahead of you, the large projection screen covers nearly the entire front wall. It is blank now, a smooth surface that reflects only the faint ambient light. The edges of the screen are framed by subtle lines of dark metal that blend into the walls. You walk toward it, your pace steady and even, until you stand near the center of the room. The screen feels calm in its stillness, an empty canvas that holds no urgency. You turn slightly, letting your attention drift over the equipment booth at the back of the room. The booth is elevated a little, enclosed by panes of thick glass. Inside, the old projectors sit silent. Their shapes are familiar, but the switches and lenses reflect none of the active glow they once gave off. The quiet inside the booth seems even deeper than in the main room. You continue walking slowly along the aisle between the chairs. The floor softens each step so completely that your movement feels almost weightless. The rows of chairs line up neatly on either side of you. Their presence gives the room a sense of order, but not rigidity. More like the quiet arrangement of a place that knows how to rest. As you reach the middle of the room, you place your hand lightly on the back of one of the chairs. The fabric is smooth and cool, the shape firm. You let your hand trail across the top for a few steps before letting it fall back to your side. The simple gesture feels grounding in the stillness. The air here stays at an even temperature, neither warm nor cold. It carries the faintest hint of dust settled long ago, softened by time. Nothing unpleasant, just a reminder that this room has existed in calm, for a long while. You walk toward the left wall, where a small control panel rests beneath a narrow ledge. Its buttons and dials are old but clean. None are lit. Your reflection appears faintly on the dark surface of the panel as you pass. The room holds your presence gently, without echo or distortion. As you follow the wall, you reach a section where the acoustic panels are arranged in a subtle pattern. The panels create a soft rhythm of alternating textures, and you run your fingertips lightly over one. The material feels firm, but not rough. Each square absorbs vibrational energy that never rises high enough to be heard. You take a slow breath. The silence feels full here, not empty. A kind of stillness that wraps around you without closing in. You continue walking toward the back of the room, where the elevated booth meets the main floor. A set of steps leads upward, wide and shallow. You place your foot on the first step, then slowly climb to the top. The cushioned floor gives way to a more solid surface inside the booth. It feels grounded, steady. From up here, the room stretches out before you in a soft gradient of shadow. The chairs form quiet rows. The screen holds its blank gaze. Everything appears balanced, as though the room were designed to hold attention gently, even when nothing is being shown. You walk across the booth, your steps making a slightly deeper sound now. Still soft, still controlled, but with a subtle change in tone. The air feels a little cooler at this height. The projectors stand on their mounts, angled toward the screen. Their bodies are heavy and composed, built for precision. You step beside one, noticing the way the glass lens catches the minimal light. A narrow shelf sits along the back wall of the booth, holding reels and cases stacked neatly. Their labels have faded over time, but the shapes remain charming in their simplicity. You pass your hand close to them without touching, feeling the air shift slightly around the edges. You exit the booth the same way you entered, descending the steps slowly until your feet touch the cushioned floor again. The softness welcomes your steps back into silence. You walk toward the center aisle once more and follow it toward the screen. The vast blank surface appears even calmer now, framed by the room's muted symmetry. You stop a few steps away from it, taking in the sense of space. Nothing moves, nothing hums, nothing competes for attention. Your breathing becomes even more quiet. Turning to the right, you walk along the front row of chairs. A small control box is built into the wall nearby, once used for managing lighting transitions. Its surface is dark and cool. You pass it without pausing, letting your steps guide you to the far corner. In this corner, a storage cabinet stands against the wall. Its doors are closed, edges clean, handles simple. You imagine the soft contents inside: extra cables, small tools, perhaps a folded cloth. You don't open the cabinet. The quiet mystery of its presence is enough. You walk back toward the center, each step steady and weightless on the cushioned floor. The rows of chairs remain still, forming gentle lines that guide your path. A slow calm settles over you as you continue. Your shoulders lower. Your breath deepens. Your body eases into the muted comfort of the room. For a moment, you stand near the aisle, letting the quiet fully surround you. Then your walk naturally resumes, bringing you gently toward the door at the back of the room. You do not leave yet. You simply reach the end of your loop and let your pace slow further, your thoughts quieting to match the atmosphere. The projection screen waits in its blank, peaceful state. The chairs rest. The control booth holds its stillness, and the room as a whole feels complete in its quiet purpose. Your walk comes to a soft close here, within the steady hush of the projection room, wrapped in silence that welcomes every breath and holds it gently.